Hey, everybody. It is Friday. Don't normally do things on Friday. It's kind of early for me. Normally, I either do stuff in the afternoon on Thursdays or Sunday night. But I thought, you know what? Let's come on, let you guys know what's going on. If you've been following my social media, you know I posted a thing about a book asking, have you ever written a novel, then put it aside and forgot about it? That did happen. It really did happen. So today I have come to say just kind of one simple thing.
Alive! It's alive!
That's what I'm trying to say. That's right. Just in case you missed it.
It's alive! It's alive!
Yep. So what's happened? Uh, Let me give you the backstory. Well, let me tell you first what it is. It's a new book. It's a novel called Blythe. The Trailer Park Night Rises. I just recently came up with the phrase, not every city is a metropolis, because I think that's a really cool tagline, and it really fits this particular book. So let me tell you the history of the book, how it came to be, and how to get it. Pretty straightforward. So, history of the book, very simply, is I had gone to a convention in Phoenix, Arizona, with my girlfriend Lisa. Lisa, who currently lives here now, so there's that. But Lisa was with me, and we had this idea that we should, I should write another novel and stuff. But I was just kind of bouncing around the back of my head, and I hadn't exactly come up with something yet. And that's when we were talking on the ride home, and we were coming back from Phoenix, and there was this little city. We had just crossed the border into California, and there's this little city called Blythe, California. And Blythe it used to be kind of a bustling area. Blythe is this little desert city that used to be railroad stop, and it was a major railroad stop. But when cars got better and more expensive or more affordable and all this stuff, it just kind of deteriorated. And now, it's not even really a good gas station stop, because as you're driving through, because California has so many taxes on their gas, the price of gas is so much more expensive in California than it is Arizona. People will drive the extra couple minutes, and I mean couple of minutes, to the other side of the border and fill up there. So the town of Blythe is pretty desolate looking. And as we're driving through, Lisa looks at me, she goes, "Where are we?" I said, "Oh, this is Blythe." She looks around, she goes, "It's kind of a shithole." And nothing against the people of Blythe. It is not the best looking town, but it's understandable, and that got my brain going. And as it was going on the ride home, by the time I got home to LA, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a story about what would a costume vigilante look like in that area. How would it happen? How would it work? How would the people react to it? And that's where the idea of Blythe came from. Basically, what if Batman, instead of being in Gotham with millions of dollars, lives in a trailer park in the middle of a struggling desert town in California and doesn't have the resources, but is still a symbol of hope to the people around them. So that's where this idea came from. This is the story of Erin Cooper, a former soldier suffering from PTSD who finds herself basically couch surfing her on a in a friend's trailer when she tries to do something good, get rid of a local meth lab, and it ends up, let's just say, exploding in her face. Yeah. And she accidentally becomes a costume vigilante and hope for this struggling city. And that's the story of Blythe. So Blythe, the Trailer Park Night Rises, that is, now available on Amazon. The cover is by Philip Sevy, who was the artist on The Freeze. This was written around the time that I was writing The Freeze. See, I should explain that part of it. So 2018, Patreon was big. Everybody was doing Patreons. And I thought I should do a Patreon. So I did a Patreon and I thought, okay, I'll do a weekly chapter, or was it a monthly chapter? I don't remember. But I wrote this book for Patreon, basically releasing a chapter at a time. And that worked out fine. But the problem is, like with everything, word of mouth. It's hard to build an audience for things. And I just wasn't, I am horrible at marketing and promoting myself. I'm a sit in the shadows and write kind of guy. I don't want to blow my own horn. I don't want to be out there, telling people that I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, because I got my fears and doubts and all that stuff, and I'm not good at it. I admit it. I can write, I can talk, I can do this stuff, but I cannot, in good conscience, promote myself because, I don't know, demons in my head, whatever you want to call it. So there weren't that many people on the Patreon. And I thought, okay, I finished the book. I was working with Tim Dodopoulos on editing it. And that's one of the unique things about this book is just about every novel I've written in conjunction with Salome Jones. Salome did all my Lucius Fogg books, all the stuff I did over at Dynamite Books, the Vampirella, Purgatory, The Boys. She read through all of that, edited all of that. She's basically as much of my books as I am at this point. But she was not available for this particular book. But Tim is her husband and an established author. He's also he writes puzzle books and stuff like that. There's a few like recent Marvel puzzle books, and Tim's the author on those. And he's very good at those, and he's in very high demand. And Tim stepped in and edited this book for me while I was writing it, which was absolutely awesome, and I thank him for it. And at the time I finished it, he said, "It's good. Go ahead and put it out." He said, "But if you want to shop it around, I have some ideas on how maybe we could do another pass on it." And I said, "That's great." He says, "I just need a little time to be able to get to it." And I said, "Okay, well, I'll put it aside, and when you get to it, let me know." And then Tim got super busy, and I got busy, and I started doing stuff like the Dynamite Book stuff, and then the pandemic hit, and all of this other stuff in life happened, and we forgot about it. This book just kind of got forgotten about. And it's not because it doesn't deserve to come out. I mean, it's a fun book. It is an interesting take on the superhero genre, and I'm excited for people to read it. Hey, Ed. Um, so the book is done. It has been done. I went through, looked it over, put it together, and it's now up on Amazon in both print and digital. It's like I said, it's good to go. I mean, it's got a great cover. It's got, it's a solid story. There's potential for more. Um, and it's fun. It's like if a movie company came along and said, "We want to make this," I would think it was a great idea because it would be it would be something you could do on a lower budget. There's not a lot of CGI battles. There's not a lot of superpowers and stuff like that. It's a vigilante. It's a daredevil level character, but it's also done in the middle of a desert city, you know? So you could literally go out to Blythe and film it there, and probably it would be great. Um, Actually, I think that would be a great idea. So if anybody from movie studios are watching and they want a good idea for a new superhero series, check this out. That's yeah, this this is one you want to look at. Oh, by the way, the picture or the cover. If you're driving to or from Arizona, California thing, getting near the border, there's a prison out there. And as you approach, there's this sign that says state prison, next exit. And underneath it says, do not pick up hitchhikers, which has always fascinated me. It's a sign I've loved because I was like, this has happened before. This had to have happened. Somebody had to have been coming through this area and picked up escaped prisoners as hitchhikers. And it's possible enough that they had to put up a sign. So when it came time to do this book, that's the cover I wanted. I even found a picture of that sign and sent that to Phil, and he drew it for me and colored it and stuff. So the cover is all Phil Sevy. So if you're a fan of the Freeze and his artwork, that's the cover artist. But yeah, so this does not change what I'm doing with Obsidian Moon. That is still in the works. Thank you, Triple B. Hey, and if you read it, please give it a review. That's the key on these books. If you're self-published like I am through Amazon, reviews are the thing that's going to get readers because the more reviews that happen, it gets picked up in the cycle and you get more and more people getting to look at it. So please, if you do, it's available in print, it's available on Kindle. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, then it's available that way too. So if you're a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, you can read it for nothing and it's all part of your service. But yeah, please review it if you do get a chance. Even if you just say, no typos, great book, something like that. It will help. So I would appreciate any reviews you can put up there. But yeah, so it's not going to change Obsidian Moon. Thank you, Triple B. Obsidian Moon is still happening. Not only is it still happening, but literally last night, one of the books that I'm going to do for Obsidian Moon is based off of a comic, one of the earliest comics I did back in the 90s called Bloodlust. But as I've been thinking about it as part of Obsidian Moon, it felt very dated. It felt like it was a story that lived in the 90s. And while I was laying in bed last night, actually telling the cat to get off the dresser so he didn't knock the TV over, my mind clicked. And I knew how to update Bloodlust. Not only how to update the story to a modern day story, because I mean, this was 25 years ago. Anyway, so 25 years ago. So I've got a new take on it. It's still the base story I want to tell, but the setting is updated and the name will be updated too. And I'll let you guys know the name once I realize for sure that it's not going to step on any toes or anything. But Obsidian Moon's still moving forward. I'm working on the first chapter Chaos Game, or the first novel Chaos Game, and that's still moving forward. How I'm going to distribute that, still figure it out. That might be this way through Amazon. I might do Kickstarter, see if I can build a bigger audience. I still have the mailing list. So if you're not on the mailing list, let me see if I'll post the mailing list on my social medias again this weekend, so you can join up on that if you haven't. But yeah, so Obsidian Moon's still happening. That's still moving forward. This is not going to stop that. This is a novel that's literally been sitting for 7 years, just waiting for me to get back to it. And once I remembered it and stuff, it was like, let's put this out. Maybe I can build an audience off of that. Maybe that'll bring people to Obsidian Moon. Maybe that'll build up where I can do this as a one-off. Every once in a while, do a couple of Obsidian Moons, do another Blythe book. So I do have ideas for sequels to Blythe too. But it also lets me scratch an itch. I consider myself a comic book writer first, even though I do novels. And even the way I write stories, I tend to write issues as chapters like issues. And I try to give a little cliffhanger of an ending so you want to jump to the next chapter. And my chapters are usually short enough that, that you don't get bogged down. I don't make very long chapters. Somebody once, in a review of one of the Fog novels, they said, the chapter sizes are great because they're just about the right size to go to the bathroom. I went, I'll take any compliment I can get, right? But so this is kind of in that same style of writing, in the chapter. But yeah, this book, it was a lot of fun to write. There's a lot of quirks in it, like I tend to put in my books. If you've read the Lucius Fogg novels, Tiny has this obsession with waffles and having to put butter and syrup in every nook and cranny on the waffle. Well, those kind of things. There's stuff like that in this book as well. This character has. Plus, it's a female lead. I don't get a chance to do a lot of female lead novels. Well, I didn't at the time. I've since done Purgatory and Vampirella, but at the time I hadn't done any. So it was interesting to write from that point of view. But yeah, I'm very excited about this book. Not many people have read it, so I really want to see what people think. I'm really excited about the tagline of "Not every city is a metropolis," because I think that gives the right tone. It gives the superhero feel, but letting you know this isn't like Batman and Superman. This is, I was going to say street level, but this is dirt road level. This is, below street level. So, yeah. Again, it's available now. That right there going across the screen, that's the link to the print version. You can also get to the digital version from there. I don't know if you guys have any questions, throw them up there. I got a few more minutes I can be on, and then I have to get off, but I just wanted to announce it first. I'll start posting stuff about it on social media and go from there. Also, if you would, when I do the social media posts, if you would share that for me, I mean, if this isn't your type of thing, maybe someone else does like it, that type. Um, I mean, this is a tough time right now. Everybody's going through financially, emotionally, mentally, just an entertainment distraction, and that's what this is. But also, I could use the sales. So and it says so. Even though it was published in 2018, you're just now releasing it. Am I understanding that correctly? It was written in 2018, and I put it together to publish in 2018. I even uploaded it to Amazon at the time, but did not release it. What I did was I printed a couple test books. And like I said, and then talking to my editor, Tim, I held off and didn't move forward with it. So the ISBN and everything else says it's from 2018, but it's not. I mean, but it's never seen print. There's never a copy of it has been sold. I think of the print copies, I gave one to my uncle who has since passed away. I gave one to Lisa, who gave me the original idea, and I have one. And I think gave one to a friend as a going away gift, and that's it. No one else has ever seen this book. There was just a handful of people on Patreon, and I think they were more being kind to back it. So, no, this has never been in print before, Ed. So it's just now being released. So it was written in 2018. And I don't know if the ISBN is linked to the date, it'll say 2018. And I've left the copyright in there as 2018 as well, because that all officially is. It just wasn't released at the time. So it's been held for 7 years. Excellent, Ed. Again, please, if you'd throw up a review when you're done, I would appreciate it. That would mean the world to me, really would. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to get going. I got some work I have to do, but I wanted to pop on and make the announcement, get it out there. I won't be doing a show this Sunday, but I'm going to start doing Sunday shows again so that I can start telling you guys about Obsidian Moon. And also, I want to talk about the stuff going on. I want to talk about the Fantastic Four movie, Captain America, and stuff like that. So I will still talk. If you guys want to get together, we'll talk pop culture on Sunday nights at 6 o'clock Pacific, and we'll just do that kind of show. We'll do it as a kind of an open round table. You guys bring in your topics and we'll talk. So, all right, guys, thank you for popping in. Triple B, Ed, always great to see you guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you to everybody else. And I will see you all very soon. Take care.